So, Kevin, Life22, here doing an interview at the Farmers Market here in Olean. REAP, 8 to 1 every Saturday until the last day in October. And I'm here with, what's your business name? I'm sorry.
My Serenity.
My Serenity.
Yeah.
And you're Renee.
I'm Renee.
All right, awesome. So, Renee owns My Serenity, and you make handbags?
Clothing. Handbags. I spin yarn.
Okay.
Anything crafty.
Right.
Pretty much.
So now I know you brought. I was just over there inspecting some of your wares. So we've got some picnic baskets, things like that. Now, what do you take? What is it? Is it hemp rope or?
It's sisal rope, and I crochet. Actually, people think they're woven, but they're not really woven. They're crocheted. Jute twine or like a cotton yarn. I crochet it over top of the rope.
Okay. Now, what's the rope again?
It's sisal rope, basically.
Sisal.
It's just normal rope you go to Worth Smith and pick up.
Okay, gotcha. Because I noticed that some of the rope, it looks very like a thinner gauge on what they used to hold old boats down with. They used to tether boats and stuff.
Well, I mean, it's the gauge I get. It's like 55 millimeters or something like that. But I mean, you could get them. Actually, if I wanted to get adventurous, I could probably make like really big, bulky baskets that were like with a thicker gauge.
With the thicker gauge.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so that's in my head. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Is just a smaller gauge.
Yeah,
of that
and
rope.
it's exactly what it is. I mean, they sell them in different gauges. I just kind of go with that because
I just never knew it was called sisal rope.
Yep.
I'm learning, so this is this is fun. So crocheting. I noticed you have the. I'm not much of a.
Yeah.
I took PA class, the practical arts class, in middle school, and I used to sew my jeans when they would tear. So
yeah,
I got a little stitch down, but I don't know the crocheting and the knitting.
Crocheting is when you hook. Yeah, when you hook, use the hook, and then knitting's when you use the two needles.
Okay, gotcha. So you go through and you weave them and just you pull the rope through.
Yeah, it's just not much different than like if people are familiar with crocheting a hat or something like that, except instead of just using the yarn, you're crocheting around something
else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the rope's kind of in the way of all the stitches.
Okay. And so you've got, what is it, skirts as well?
Yeah, I like to make patchwork skirts.
Okay.
And sometimes I make normal skirts too, but I like the patchwork stuff, and my kids get involved with me too doing it. My daughter likes to make the wine bottle that you were just looking at. She makes the wine bottle baskets, and then my son likes to make some jewelry as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So
all right. So
and actually the birdhouse is there. My mother-in-law makes.
And that's made out of, looks like an old gourd?
Some of them are gourds. Some of them are upcycled barnwood.
Oh.
I think there's one that's made out of a tree stump. I don't know. No, she may have sold that last week actually. But
gotcha. So yeah, I noticed. I know that a lot of the other vendors were pointing out how cool your weights were for your tent. just burlap sacks with
sand.
With sand in them. That's most of we've all gone like professional now. Like the rest of us have like PVC that have concrete in them and bungee weights, and yours looks very rustic.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot of rustic kind of stuff around too, and I just had a lot of burlap sacks, and so when we were trying to decide what to do for weights, I was like, why don't you just put some sand in a burlap sack
and just tie it down? It's very handy.
Yeah.
I just upgraded a bungee cord, so it's one of those things. I have rope tied around ours. We use paracord, and I was just tying them up every week, and it was like trying to set a boat, trying to tether the sails, and it was like, God, I had to have at least 15 minutes into just tying my weights down.
Oh, geez.
And it's like, then I switched over to bungee cords for $8, and I was like, oh my God. But
not a bad idea.
But that's a very cool way of doing it though. Just having the burlap sacks. We talked about that. A couple of vendors were like, how neat, So.
Oh, that's good. I was kind of afraid they were big and clumsy and in the way, but they keep them down, and I haven't even come close to trying to blow away today. And
yeah,
so,
right.
That's
it's
good.
been a windy one, so. But a lot of times it's just the little things that you want to clutter up your booth a little bit. It's kind of like we bring the plants every week, and at least we try to, and just to add a little ambiance, chessboard. So it's just little things. You got some extra space, like there's nothing there, but
right.
So
I'm learning.
yeah. So this is your second week with
This is second week, yeah.
Second week. All right. So you having fun?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we're really enjoying it.
Meet new people, things like that.
Oh yeah.
It's
Everybody's so friendly.
Yeah, that's farmers market. It's community getting together. So
Yeah.
it's a big part. So we've talked a little bit about what what your wares are. So obviously you're new to the farmers market, and your take on it. I mean, like obviously you like it, but what I usually start with a couple questions about like. So obviously you like the farmers market so far.
Right.
What do you think the benefits are to the farmers market to like the community as a whole?
Oh goodness, I think it's a benefit because it gets local. It gets local businesses out to the community. So local food, local vendors.
Right.
Handmade things like that. It's like I never even thought about putting my handmade goods into the farmers market because I thought mostly fruits and vegetables or whatever. I didn't think anything about the fact that I'm actually kind of a local artist that can get my goods out to people. And I think the people that shop at the farmers market are looking more for local.
Right. Yeah. So. Because you go to what is it like? You go to one of those import stores. The Pottery Barn type stuff, and it looks handcrafted, but it might be.
Right.
Some faraway country, and it's like one of those like you're not buying it local. That's a big deal.
Right.
For you go on eBay, you find something that was handcrafted. Maybe it's a guy in Illinois that's making it. Maybe it's coming off a press in China. And that's
exactly.
Farmers market. Because you're meeting the person who made it.
Exactly.
Which is awesome. So.
Yep, and it's a good opportunity for us to get our stuff out to the public. In one place every week instead of maintaining a store for me. I actually tried it. I don't have a storefront anymore. I tried it for a little while, and it was just with homeschooling and everything at the same time. It was a little too much. But this is a good way to get out and
the
still
overhead
be able to.
The overhead's comparable. You know what I mean? Versus
exactly.
stone and mortar businesses, the overhead on it is crushing to small businesses.
It really is.
So, but awesome. Well, usually. Afterwards, we pick some random topic to talk about. Whether it's a random question for you that I've thought of so far, but I mean, usually I pick something that has to do with your field, like Shingleback. I was talking to him about things that go in the soil to help plants.
Oh, okay.
And John, John kind of wanted to talk about everything, so it's one of those.
I got a random question.
Okay.
You said you do patchwork.
Uh-huh.
I got a pair of crazy corduroy shorts that are old and beat up. If I brought them to you, would you be able to make them
Yeah, absolutely.
something again?
Yep. Actually, I've had a pair of corduroy shorts that I made for my husband. I want to say probably 9 or 10 years ago. And every time he wears them, we just do something different to them and patch them and make them so that they're not being tossed out. And
I got this pair as a hand-me-down.
really,
Probably 5 or 6 years ago. I go to music festivals, and I actually was wearing them one time, and I get compliments on them like non-stop. And some guy walked up to me one time, and just cool and nonchalant as could be, he walked up and he goes, "Hey, I know the guy that made them shorts. They came from Bonnaroo. It's nice to meet you." And he took off down the trail.
oh wow.
But I've wore the heck out of them since I've had them, and they're like, there's a hole right next to the pocket, so I'll go to put stuff in the pocket, and it just goes down my leg, and a couple of the patches or the where they're sewed together, seams are starting to come apart. And
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to bring them by sometime.
just bring them down here.
Yeah, just bring them, step right in the
I'll go
booth
get
and I
them in a
can.
few minutes.
Oh, okay, sure.
There you go. Look at
I'll
that.
go back to my apartment anyways, and then I'll stop back by and drop them off.
See?
Yeah, sure.
See, and they say that business can't be conducted at a farmer's market, and that these videos aren't productive for promoting marketing. Look at that, we just got you a sale. So
Absolutely.
And there's your random tidbit for the...
yeah, there's a random tidbit.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you do patchwork. That's awesome.
I do,
man.
yeah. And actually, I've been trying to, a lot of times I try to hide things, when I have to patch, and now I've just come to actually appreciate the art of not throwing out clothes and mending them. So there's like this thing. It's called visible mending. So now I've kind of like started to try to fix our clothes with patches that you can tell that it was obviously fixed, so that you show that you're frugal and creative all at the same time.
Right, and it's unique. It's a unique piece of clothing. Nobody else's shirt from Walmart has this patch on the side of it.
You're right.
Yeah. Just, not that everyone's buying their shirts at Walmart, but the typical Joe, it's.
See, my daughter.
I was the guy.
I made her like a dress when she was, I think she was 6. I made this dress, and actually now she's 12, and it's a skirt for her. So we've just kind of like morphed it over the years, and it is actually one of my patchwork. It was like a rainbowy patchwork thing, and so over the years we've morphed it from a dress that fit a 6-year-old to now it's a skirt that fits a 12-year-old. And
well, that's awesome. Yeah. I used to be the guy in high school because everyone always said, "Oh, you don't care about what people think about you." So I didn't. I was like, "Oh, I got to work. I got to buy clothes, things like that." So all of a sudden, I'd get a tear in my clothes, and I just sew it. So I was the kid that looked like a pincushion. I had sew marks all over my shirt, so little bullet holes all sewn over, and kids would make fun of me, and I didn't care. So that was.
Now, I actually think it looks pretty cool to know that you got creative with not throwing out your clothes, so that you can keep using it.
Yeah, sit down and write a term paper and get writer's block and just sew my clothes. So, and then 2 Christmases ago, I got Miley, Quinn, and June. We got them all. There was a nice little old lady out in Friendship. She had nothing to do with her time except for she liked to sew. Not saying she had nothing to do with it, but she was just like, I'm just sewing all this stuff, and I was there to fix a gas line. And she's like, I'm sewing all this stuff for my grandkids, and my nieces and nephews, and I was like, those cooking aprons look awesome. She was like, you buy the fabric, I'll sew them up for like $20, and I was like,
wow.
So, and they were really nice. They had the pockets in the front, and so I got a mom, oldest daughter, youngest daughter, matching set, and it was kind of cool.
Cool.
And so it's hard to find people like that nowadays. So, but
I actually thinking of aprons, I found an apron at an estate sale a few years ago, and this is a very vintage apron, and it was like one of the most comfortable aprons ever, and I've worn it to death. So I decided here a few weeks ago to cut it up and make a pattern from it, and actually sold it. It was the first thing I sold last week at the farmers market.
Really?
I made a linen apron from the pattern that I made from the vintage apron, and I was pretty excited because I'm like, I don't know, do people like aprons, or do I just like aprons? So I did, and that was the first thing I sold.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, you can't beat it. I mean, you gotta do what you love, and that's what. I mean, so if you like things, and then you already doing something that, like I like to sew, so you know what I mean. If you incorporate other things that you like to do into with what you do, you're gonna find that you're not the only one.
Right.
People end up buying it, so you know.
Yeah, and that was my biggest problem for the longest time because I kept thinking, what do people want? What do people want? And then finally, it's like, okay, I guess it has to be, what do I like? And those people would probably just find their way to me.
Right. And sometimes you gotta cater to the crowd, but other times it's you can just focus on you, and your hobby is your passion and your business. So. But, cool. All right. This wasn't so bad, was it?
Not terrible.
No. See. So Kevin, Life22, subscribe to the channel. Come down to your local REAP Farmers Market. We've got My Serenity. All right, My Serenity's here till the end of October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Don't make you commit on this.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're going to be.
All right, awesome. Well, you're having fun, so it's great, and we've got other vendors down here, 8 to 1, Monday through Saturday, 8 to 1 every Saturday until the end of October. Come on down to your local farmers market, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
No problem.